My life was perfect, calm, quiet, and in control. Then Jack showed up and everything changed. He was exciting and passionate, but our relationship was like a roller coaster. When things ended, I thought I'd never feel that way again. Now I'm with Tom. It's different, steady, and safe. But then Jack comes back, and I'm torn between the calm I have and the crazy I miss. I used to like things to be just so. I liked to know what was going to happen next. It made me feel safe. Every day was like a puzzle, and I liked putting the pieces in the right places. I took care of my house, my garden, and my work. I was happy. Then Jack came along. He was like a bright, shiny new toy. At first, we were just friends. We talked and laughed, but then things changed. I started to feel funny inside when I was with him. It was like a secret feeling, a happy feeling. One stormy evening, the world outside mirrored the turmoil within me. As we stood in the kitchen, the rain drumming a hypnotic rhythm on the window, an electric tension crackled between us. With a single stolen kiss, the carefully constructed walls around my heart crumbled. It was a reckless act, a leap into the unknown. But in that moment, I felt alive in a way I hadn't in years. His touch was both gentle and demanding, a stark contrast to the solitary existence I'd grown accustomed to. In his arms, I was a woman reborn, intoxicated by the forbidden, yet haunted by the knowledge that this was a fleeting moment, a stolen pleasure that would inevitably end. When summer faded, so too did the intensity of our connection. The pain of his departure was a physical ache, a constant reminder of the fragility of human relationships. I retreated into myself, a wounded creature seeking solace in the familiar. Time, as they say, is a great healer. With it came a renewed sense of purpose. I tended to my garden with renewed vigor, pruning away the dead and nurturing new growth. In the process, I discovered a strength and resilience I hadn't known existed. Then, unexpectedly, I met Tom. He lived in the house next door. I didn't know him very well, but I would sometimes see him in the garden. He had a big smile and kind eyes. One day, I was watering my flowers when I dropped my watering can. It made a loud noise. Tom came running over to help me. He was very nice. We started talking and found out that we liked the same things. We both liked to read stories and the outdoors. Tom was funny and made me laugh. He was also very smart. He knew lots of things about animals and plants. He taught me how to plant seeds and how to take care of my garden. I learned a lot from Tom. His presence was a balm, a gentle hand guiding me through the fog of my grief. With him, I rediscovered the joy of companionship, the comfort of shared silence. Our connection deepened slowly, like a fine wine maturing with time. There were quiet evenings on the porch, shared laughter, and a growing sense of intimacy. Our physical relationship was a tender dance, a gradual exploration of a world we were both discovering. It was a love built on trust, respect, and a deep-seated companionship. With Tom, I found a love that was both passionate and enduring. It was a love that healed the wounds of the past and opened my heart to a future filled with promise. The rhythm of our lives together settled into a comfortable cadence. Mornings were filled with the aroma of coffee and the gentle rustling of newspapers. Evenings were often spent curled up on the couch, lost in a good book or a shared conversation. Yet, beneath the tranquil surface, a simmering current of desire connected us. One evening, as a storm gathered outside, casting an ethereal glow on the room, we found ourselves drawn together. The crackling fire in the hearth provided a warm counterpoint to the tempestuous weather. As we sat close, our knees touching, a familiar electric tension passed between us. A stolen glance, a knowing smile, and the unspoken promise hung heavy in the air. Our kiss was a gentle exploration, a tender awakening of desires long thought dormant. With Tom, I felt a sense of safety and trust that was a sanctuary for my soul. Our bodies moved in harmony, a slow dance of passion and intimacy. It was a far cry from the tempestuous affair with Jack, yet it was a depth of connection I had never truly known. There were nights when the world seemed to fade away as we surrendered to the moment. The touch of his hands on my skin was like a soothing balm, a gentle caress that ignited a fire within me. In the quiet intimacy of our shared space, we explored the depths of our connection, discovering new and exhilarating ways to express our love. Our lovemaking was a symphony of senses, a harmonious blend of touch, taste, and sound. It was a dance of bodies and souls, a testament to the enduring power of human connection. In Tom's arms, I felt safe, cherished, and deeply loved. One day I hear a gentle knock on my door. I slowly walked to the door and opened it. And there he stood, Jack. He looked even more handsome than I remembered. His eyes held a familiar intensity, and a surge of emotions, both familiar and foreign, washed over me. Before I could react, he swept me off my feet, his lips claiming mine with a ferocity that took me by surprise. The world seemed to disappear as we were lost in a whirlwind of passion. It was as if time stood still, and nothing else mattered. The memory of Tom, my guilt, everything faded into the background. It was just him and me, lost in the intoxicating rush of desire. His lips were like wildfire, consuming my senses. I tried to push him away, to regain control, but the familiar pull was too strong. With each deepening kiss, the lines between right and wrong blurred, replaced by a heady rush of desire. His hands, once gentle, now explored with a possessive urgency. I was a puppet on strings, my body responding to his rhythm, my mind a captive to the intoxicating moment. As his touch ignited every nerve ending, I surrendered to the tempest within me. His body molded to mine, a perfect fit. The world narrowed to the two of us, lost in a primal dance of passion. With each thrust, I was swept away on a wave of sensation, a dizzying euphoria that eclipsed all reason. In that stolen moment, I was free from the shackles of guilt, lost in a world of pure, unadulterated pleasure. Exhaustion washed over me as the storm within subsided. We lay entwined, our bodies slick with sweat, our breathing ragged. The room was filled with the aftermath of passion, a heavy silence punctuated only by the rapid thump of our hearts. Reality crept back slowly, bringing with it a wave of nausea. The intoxicating haze had lifted, revealing the stark truth. I had betrayed Tom, the man who loved and cherished me. The memory of Tom's gentle touch, his unwavering support, flooded my consciousness. Guilt, sharp and unforgiving, clawed its way back, replacing the fleeting pleasure with a bitter emptiness. I had shattered the trust we had built, and in that moment, I realized the depth of my betrayal. The weight of my actions pressed down on me, a crushing burden that threatened to consume me.